Hello, friends, and welcome back. We're here. It is the Adventures Tabletop. We are a group that has kind of spun off from the Winner's Circle that we have made our very own channel to strictly deal with tabletop role playing with a focus on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. My name, of course, is For the Win. I am the Dungeon Master, um, old Daddy DM, if you will. That's I'm here to get whomped, and I'm here with our group of intrepid adventurers. Um, the screen that you see, the screen that you see is Uther, aka Darren Rise. We also have Rack Rasto, aka the Real Mad Hollow, Annerneck, aka the Great WT, Nero, sorry, Annerneck, sorry,
Wow.
aka, wow. Okay, Annerneck, aka Sheila, Nero, aka the Great WT, and Draxon, aka Thorn, Zuriel Thorn, I should say. There's a list of them right there. You can catch all of our socials down below if you're interested in following us with some of our independent works or our other stuff. Thank you, Darren. Good for you. So, guys, we are on session number 11. And what has happened is our group has just recently finished chapter 2 of the Hoard of the Dragon Queen adventure booklet. So, booklet, it's adventure hardcover, but that's beside the point. They have made their way into the camp, into the raiding camp, and have gone through and rescued a monk of great importance, or so they think. This monk is Leosin. This monk Leosin has, for what knowledge they have, has been working on getting into the cult. And yeah, rescued is a loose term. They've made their way into this camp. They've rescued Leosin and have immediately put him to work, getting him to start working and bringing back other members of Greenest who had been caught. The group then proceeded to run up the up a sloped hill on the southwestern side of the map, and made their way back to Greenest, where they proceeded to fall asleep. Oh, look, there they are. Look, zooming in closer. Okay,
Such tiny little dots.
that's right. It's a big map. It's a
As
big,
we
big
approach the 3.
map. That's right.
I don't think I have that map. I'm not sure.
It's okay. I wouldn't worry too much about it for the moment, because you guys actually made your way back to the Greenest. I don't know what can we even call it. Greenest 2.0, really.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys made it back to Greenest, the new settlement, I guess, as they have finished. They've kind of given up on the town proper, and have made their way out to a new little outcropping that they are now using to green to us. That they are now using as a new civilization. Upon waking up after 8 hours, it is now, by the time you get back to Greenest, it is late at night. So you wake up kind of in the mid morning, and you see you see a lot of commotion of people moving about. Part of this is still them kind of setting up their part of them are these people still setting up camp. These guys, they weren't nearly as ready to do camp as as maybe the kobolds and that you just left. They are um, so they're kind of struggling a little bit more. Like you see people who are kind of makeshift doing things. You have a bunch of people who are kind of practicing with bows and arrows on one side, shooting into like these straw bales or various kind of makeshift dummies and that they've made, trying to teach people how to hunt. And you have other people who are sort of prospecting and starting to till up a bit of land to start doing some farming and that. You see the Governor Nightcrest, fuck. You'd think I would have remembered that poor bastard's name. Although I suppose that just means he wasn't that memorable now, was he? Nighthill. Governor Nighthill. He's running around in his usual flurry, arms flailing and just kind of barking orders and looking rather inept at the whole situation. And you you uh you also see, there's lots of kind of hushed whispers about Leosin um, and some of the other members, some of the other townsfolk that people thought that were lost, are back. And I mean, like when people talk about how, the others are back, everyone's talking very open and jovially about it. But when they talk about Leosin being back, it's a much more hushed tone. It kind of seems like people or maybe they're still a little apprehensive and a little bit confused about, this monk that was in the town and was trying to, then all of a sudden got taken by these guys. Why was he taken? What was the deal? Why was he singled out and that kind of jazz? And yeah, and with that, I mean, yeah, you guys are awake. You guys have kind of come out of your sleeping quarters. It is early. It is nearing noon. But it's still kind of in the late morning.
Is the dwarf guy that we went with over by the mill anywhere in sight?
Escobar the Red. He is, in fact. He's kind of walking around. He's kind of over. He is supervising some training as he's trying to, um, get a new batch of city guards starting to be trained, as there were a lot of casualties during the siege of Greenest.
Internet's gonna look to the group. Uh, do you think we should go talk to him, see if they actually got to interrogate anybody yet, or?
He seems as good as any person, really. Better than the governor, that's for damn sure.
I am not talking to that douchebag.
But he loves you.
If Nero responded that way, Internet's gonna start walking over towards the what was he? Dwarf. That's it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay. Yes, you start making your way over towards the dwarf. Anybody have any other plans, or are you going as a group, or kind of what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'll follow along.
Good.
Rax, he's not interested in small talk, but Rax gonna generally just head where the group goes, so he's not really gonna argue.
Okay.
Nero's gonna try to scoop up some breakfast on the way. Just whatever's lying around.
All right, yeah, sure. Yeah, you kind of as you're walking by, you find like some salted pork and you know
Ooh, my
some
favorite.
yeah some sort of glass of something. You're not quite sure what it is, but it sure tastes good.
Are you always hungry? Is this normal for you?
Gotta keep this figure.
I can't even tell what kind of figure that is under all those robes. I'll leave it a mystery, however. I'll leave it a mystery. Thank you.
Is either just passed out somewhere?
Uh, yeah, he's slowly waking up, and it's been a hard, day for him. So he'll trail behind them, but he's probably a little groggy still.
As we approach, does he recognize us, or is
Yeah,
he
yeah.
busy in conversation?
I mean, you'd see he's kind of having he's fairly paying attention. He's paying attention to what is to kind of what's going on here, to like the training, and he's kind of very I would say fairly casually just kind of like making corrections here and there. Is no, bring your shield up more like this, and when you strike you have to follow through like that, and all that sort of stuff. He sees you, he clocks you as you guys are walking up, and he goes, "Oh, adventurers, welcome back." He says, I've heard of your grand victory at by going and retrieving by going and getting Leosin from back from the clutches of the cult, or of the invaders, thank you for thank you. I mean, I'm sure we have a great deal to learn from him. He's in fairly bad shape. I mean, I expect he's probably going to be. I imagine he'll be resting for probably the better. He'll be resting for sure today. I think we'd be lucky if we saw him tomorrow. Back in the land of the quote unquote conscious, if you will.
Ah, I see. So we probably won't get more information, more leads on where to go until after he's rested for the day.
I mean, that's you'd kind of have to ask him, but I know right now he's being tended to in our kind of makeshift medical tent. Again, he did not come back in the greatest of conditions, but I mean he had made mention of how you'd come and rescued him from the tortures that he was being from the tortures that were being inflicted upon him.
He kind of didn't want to leave, which was pretty weird.
Totally like the pain.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy if you ask me.
I mean, that's the vibe I was getting from him too. I don't know.
So, well, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't really know him, so I wouldn't be able to speak to that.
Was he any less crazy when you talked to him?
He seemed very invested in his mission. He seemed very headstrong on trying to get inside of this group.
Yeah, that's about what we got from him too. We'll probably have to go pay him a visit.
Where is he?
Yeah, that's probably a good question. Yeah, where's the like? First of all, where's the food around here? But also, like, where's Leosin? We should go swinging on him.
He says, "Well, for food, there's kind of a mess hall or a mess area, I should say. Again, we don't have much. There are a couple. There's a handful of fairly skilled hunters out trying to track down deer. I mean, we're a deer and other proteins for us to eat. We're quite fortunate in that this particular area is, we're really not doing too poorly when it comes to just kind of wild game roaming around. And so we're, again, it's really more of a situation of not enough hunters to to take care of this all. But yeah, if you head over that way, I mean, there'll be some meat there for you. We managed to get a few sacks of flour and ground grains, so that will, there's folks making some breads and that sort of stuff.
This is out of character. Just a question. Because I don't have any on. Rack doesn't have any on. For potions wise, do we want to ask if like they restocked on potions and figure that out, or if we needed any or anything like that? Silence is the best answer.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
No, I was asking if we want to ask him if like we like, because I think we use it maybe like 1 or 2 potions. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly on one of the fights, so I just didn't know if we needed to ask if we, if they restocked on potions so we can try to get some.
If your character wants to ask, go for it, man.
Okay. Did you guys restock on any potions or anything?
She says we gave you kind of what we could spare for the time being. We're in a bit of a bind at the moment.
What's
Rack,
the next? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're right. Rack's just gonna like just kind of give him like a look and then just turn around and pull out his axe and just begin sharpening it and minding his own business.
Okay.
As Nero was speaking with the dude and Rack was talking to him, Anna's gonna step towards the back of the group to speak to Uther kind of quietly, and she's gonna ask him, so while they go talk to this weird mage guy or whatever, do you want to go work on that issue you were talking to me about?
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to get some practice in.
She's gonna look over to the dwarf. I forget your name. I'm really sorry, dude. But is there an area where maybe we can set up like a little sparring section for us so we can work on some shape shifting, or can you guys spare the room? Or
Yeah, absolutely. She says no, that's not a problem. There's, our kind of our training area here is more than ample for what we need. Is you may yeah, you can totally use that.
do you guys mind if me and Uther go spar a little bit?
Go ahead, I guess.
Well, enjoy your breakfast and let us know what you find out from the dude.
I'm sure it'll be great. He probably just wants to get whipped more.
Oh, goodness.
Kind of glad we have something else to do.
Yeah, me too. Let's go.
I'll let you know all about it. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you, sir. So at this point, Uther and Anna would wander off over to a different section just to spar, I guess you could say.
Sounds good. Okay. Um. Okay. So yeah. So you guys are kind of doing your sparring thing. Um. What are the rest of you guys working at?
Probably just making my way over to Leosin.
Okay. So as you guys and Rack, what are you kind of working on here?
Rax kind of gonna follow slowly behind Nero, but he's just gonna he's gonna kind of just be paying attention to himself mostly, like continue just sharpening his battle axe and probably his like smaller little hatchets and just or hand axes and just acting like he's just disinterested in everything. Also, when he walks past somebody probably holding a drink, he's gonna like snatch the drink out of their hand and chug whatever's in their cup and then toss it to the side and just keep walking.
Okay, sounds good. And Draxon, what are you doing during this whole situation?
I would like to look for, I guess, an apothecary or someone who sells herbs and plants.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't take you too terribly long. You kind of like wander around and ask around a little bit, and you kind of get directed towards this small group of ladies that have a smattering of various plants kind of strewn out about them, and they're kind of just gossiping and just talking, talking about better days, before the siege and all that sort of stuff. Is they're looking over some of the plants and setting some of them off in different piles, and they're starting to pile different ones together in certain quantities and stuff like that. They kind of look up. They kind of look up as you walk in and say, "Oh, hello."
Hello, I am looking for some herbs to counteract poison. Do y'all have any that you could spare?
Um, sure, yeah. Some sort of like antidote herbs. So I'm sure we have. So yeah, sure we have what you were looking for. Let's see here. So you're looking for. Okay, yeah. So like what sort of so you're looking for something that would recover from like venom or poison of some description.
Yes, and possibly any similar things, snake bite, spiders, things like that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Like, how much are you looking for? You know,
How many of the how much would I need to use my poisoner's kit to reverse engineer it into poison?
I mean, I'd say if you like, it would probably take you. It would probably take you enough to figure out one. Like, it would take you enough to figure out one to create. Like you, because you'd have to actually make the anti venom kind of thing at one point, and then in order to reverse engineer it, I mean, I think that after one, you would probably be able to kind of take it backwards, easy enough. I mean, the potency would be questionable for the first couple that you made, but I mean, you'd have, by the time, if you had made one antidote, you'd probably have enough knowledge to create something usable.
How much would 25 gold pieces get me?
That would be enough to get you. It would get you 3 doses.
Is that including the one that I would have to then make in reverse engineer?
That's total. That's all in, all through. You're gonna get three goes.
I'll take that then.
Sounds great. All right. So that okay, so we'll take care of that, and then so while that's happening, we have I'll just get you to, yeah, you can add that into your character sheet as that's happening. Nero and Rack make your way over to the to kind of like the healer's tent, and that you see milling around this area are some kind of like some acolytes of various religious sects. So I mean, you'll see, you see like a priest of Tamora and a priest of Palor and like various deities. People are walking around, clerics of different faiths, and then others that are just kind of there helping out. It's very easy to distinguish those who quote unquote know what they're doing to those who just very obviously don't have a clue. Yeah, as you approach the tents, just the group of tents, you see that there are people both inside and outside of these tents, kind of dealing with folks who are in various levels of need. Those who tend to be a little more wounded, you don't see as much. As all you do is you catch glimpses of people kind of laid out on tables inside of these tents, and then more on the outside, you see people who are maybe suffering from cuts or broken bones or something that's a little more manageable, as they're kind of propped up outside these tents or doing what they can to be taken care of.
Am I able to just like search through and find Leosin? Because I can't do shit for these people. So
Fair enough. Yeah, so you scout around a little bit. You notice in one of the tents, in one of the tents that's on one edge of this little medical area is Leosin inside. He's surrounded by a couple of different priests a couple of different clerics and some assistants in that, and he is very much out cold. He's breathing, like he's not dead or anything like that, but he is just out at the moment. As you walk into the tent, a couple of the helpers kind of turn to you and just say, they said, we they kind of turn, they look at you and they go, oh, you're the old man and the Minotaur. Well, it is our understanding that we have you to thank for saving so many of the of the folks of Greenest here. How can we help you today?
I'm just looking to talk to this guy. We had a bit of a run-in at the camp, and I would like to talk to him about where he might think the dragons and stuff are happening. You know,
Uh,
is he well enough to talk?
they kind of say the helper says, "Oh well, unfortunately, he's I mean he's not in danger, but he's he's been given some milk of the poppy to kind of ease his pain and that. So I he's kind of fallen into a deep slumber. I don't expect him to be I don't expect him to be back with us. Possibly as the earliest he'd be back with us is probably tomorrow morning."
Did he say anything?
No, he made his way back with other members of Greenest, and he had mentioned that he had been rescued by. Sounds like he described a large minotaur and an older gentleman, and then a couple of a couple of druids, and so he only mentioned the four of you. I'm assuming there's two more of you somewhere.
Yeah, they're off. They're off training. Yes, you are talking to the right people. We just need to talk to him because we're trying to help the town with this problem, and we think he knows where to go. You know, and he's been in there for so long. But he wasn't exactly uh, he was a bit crazy when we first ran into him, and I was really hoping that he'd be awake and not crazy. So you're sure he didn't say anything? So he just came in, said, old man, big beast, two people passed out. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, he came in. So when he arrived, I mean, he was doing quite poorly. I mean, he was limping. He's really kind of barely able to walk on his own without too much trouble. He was kind of assisted back here. He was assisted back here by some other members of Greenest, and he had when he was when we inquired, or when Escobar inquired about what had happened. That's when he had made mention of your group, and at that point, I mean, he was showing a good sign, a good amount of weakness. So the clerics here just kind of took over, and we got him. They just started to work with him and try to cure him of his wounds. Like I said, I know that they've got him, that they've managed to get him through the worst of it, but I don't think he's going to be of much use to, well, really anyone, crazy or otherwise, until the morning.
Well, shit. Fine. Well, I guess we might as well make myself busy. Is there something I can do to help out around here? I mean, I'm gonna get some breakfast first, but is there something I can do? I don't know. I don't know anything about healing. But is there something I can do?
He says, "Well, they said he they they kind of like look you up and down. They're like, I don't you uh I mean no disrespect, sir, but you don't really look much like the hunting type either. Now that one behind you might be a little more adept at this, but I don't suppose you would be interested in helping gather some deer or elk for us, Mister Minotaur, sir?
Rack.
Mr. Rack, yes, Mr. Rack. Would you? I don't suppose you know a thing or two about hunting, as opposed to maybe being hunted.
What do we need?
He said, well, if you go out towards the edge of camp, off in that direction, he kind of like points off to the east there. He says, if you go off to the east side of camp there, maybe you could get connected with some of the hunting parties, and maybe you could assist them in bringing in some extra meals to feed us.
Rack just lets out a sigh and then looks straight at Nero and just kind of like squints a little bit, like trying to convey, like, should I just go?
Yeah, nah, yeah, you probably. I mean, it's probably just going to be super boring here. Got to do something.
So Rack just kind of shrugs his shoulders and stops sharpening his axe and starts heading in that direction and leaves the tent.
Okay. And as for you, Mister Old Man, sir,
Nero Tinsley.
Mr. Tinsley, very well, Mr. Tinsley. He says, I'm not. Again, I mean no disrespect, but I'm not quite sure what we could. What could even really ask for a person of your wisdom, or
Right. My advanced age is somewhat of a distraction, I understand, but I'm just trying to help. I mean, I can go fuck off. I don't really care. I'll go and talk to the governor and see what he needs. I just thought maybe you need some help around here. It's fine.
says, well, he says, honestly, I mean, if you want to, if you feel, if you feel to hang around and try to work some medical aid, I mean, of course we're not going to turn you down.
Really, it kind of seemed like you were for a while there. It seemed like a.
Well, I just look, I sometimes I am sometimes I just don't know. Sometimes I just get ahead of myself. I just get out of sorts, if you will.
Well, I'm sure I can pick up maybe trying to help some people around here for a little bit until make sure nothing happens. I mean, it might be good to. I think I'll hang around here and keep an eye out to make sure nothing weird happens with our friend here too.
Yes, very well, very well. That's going on. Uther and Draxon, or sorry, Uther and Anderneck. You two are sparring. Correct?
Yeah, at least working on wild shaping. So every time that I turn into an animal, it's like the animal takes over. I become a wolf, and I think last time I tried to jump through a window to attack a guy inside of a building. I mean, that just seems reckless.
Is it only when you do specific animals, or is it whenever you turn into an animal? And I'm assuming they're having this conversation on the way to the sparring circle.
Sure.
I mean, really, there's only kind of to become a wolf and a horse and a mastiff. So the mastiff is a lot less aggressive, but and I've been thinking, I've when I was living in the forest, I had run into some bears and that sort of stuff. So might be able to turn into a black bear. That's kind of might be beyond my
Let's
abilities.
start with the wolf first, shall we?
Yeah, you might be right, but yeah, I mean it really seems like the wolf is the one that just carries me away the most.
Now, what type of mindset are you in before you shape shift? I mean, that also helps with me. It helps.
Ooh, yeah. It's always been kind of a panic reaction, I guess. I'm not very good at close fighting, so
Okay,
I'd
well,
rather be a wolf.
you said the mastiff isn't as bad, right?
Yeah.
So try to concentrate on that. Try to concentrate on that connection you have with the mastiff when you go into mastiff form, but go into wolf form. And I'm going to let you go into wolf form first before I do.
Okay.
So you go ahead, and I'll be right here with you. You can still understand me when you're in wolf form, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, go ahead. I'll wait for you. And what kind of wolf is he switching into? Like what does it look like?
Just a normal like forest wolf. I don't think anything special.
So like a grayish color?
Yeah, yeah, grayish one.
Okay, that's fair. Annerneck, when she shifts into it, it's going to be more like her hair color. So it's going to be more like a light brown color.
It's cool. Okay, but yeah, so just a grayish wolf. So, okay, I'll try to do that. And so, thinking of mastiff. Okay.
Just remember who you are. You're in control. You're the alpha.
Okay, yeah. So Uther transforms into a wolf. And
Does he immediately attack me?
no, but he growls at you right away for sure.
At the growl, Annerneck does not step back. As a matter of fact, she'll take a half step forward and immediately shift into a wolf as well. So now they're at a standoff. They're both growling at each other face to face.
So Uther will circle a little bit.
Do we roll initiative, boss?
Yeah, go for it.
21.
Well,
Higher dex modifier.
Wow. You got a nat 20 though.
It's true. It still goes by higher dex mod, so Uther goes first.
Okay.
Uther, is your turn?
So I would really, I guess I have almost, as a wolf, we should be able to talk, so I think I've got it somewhat under control. What do we want to spar, or should I just try to control the wolf?
Out of character. DM, I accidentally put the effect on. Oh, okay. No, it's right. Okay, I'm good. I thought I messed up in game. We're fine.
Okay, you're good.
Go ahead, Darren. Sorry.
So yeah, should I think I've kind of got it under control, but I definitely want to attack you, but I think I can hold it back. Should I just let it go, or should do we want to try and spar, or?
She's not gonna mentally, verbally respond, but she's gonna snarl back and lunge, but not actually attack.
So I would jump back and kind of disengage, and then that would be my turn, I think. I want to see what Andernick is gonna do.
All right. Anderneck.
Watching him retreat to that reaction, she's going to advance forward and growl even deeper. She's not trying to speak to him, she's trying to get him to react.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in for a bite.
What?
That'll be a 19 to hit.
That would hit.
It does hit, yes. Drop your die right on Darren in the.
Oh, oopsie. My bad.
You're fine. You're all good. 8 points of damage as Anderneck bites you.
She's gonna lunge in and go right for his midsection with that bite.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Darren.
He would react and try to bite back at her. With a 15?
That hits.
For 8 damage.
Okay. Well, this is very, very even. Okay. So Anderneck, Darren. Darren, Uther. After Uther backs away from you a little bit in wolf form and kind of growls a little bit, you take a lunge towards him and take a good bite into his midsection. As you're pulling away from it, you kind of see his form start to kind of turn on you a little bit, and as don't think you're quite prepared for it. He snaps a good bite at one of your legs as you're pulling back. Anderneck, it's your turn.
She's gonna growl lightly and start to circle pace and actually reach out mentally to speak to him. Is it you in control or is it the wolf?
Uther will lay down and say, be in control. It's still hard to fight the wolf reactions, but in control it most of the time, I think now. It makes a lot more sense.
Watching him go into a submissive pose, she's going to stand taller and let out a huff and revert back to regular form.
Okay.
And Uther will do the same.
Okay.
Wow, that was...
See?
Yeah, that was completely different.
You just gotta remember who you are. Like, it's two parts of you, but it's a one whole. And just know that you're always in control, that they aren't.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. That makes a lot more sense now.
She's gonna clap him on the shoulder and give him a grin. Good. Maybe we can actually spar again sometime because that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. That was, it's so much fun to be able to be an animal, but I've always been afraid because I've never been able to control anything beyond like a horse or a dog, and be something.
Well, whenever you take on a new shape, it's a new sensation, it's a new feeling, and it's a new type of control that you need to work on and master. So I understand. I truly understand. I just think maybe I have been converting into these animals um, more often than you have. So I spend a lot of the time in the woods. I don't really like towns and cities. So
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
anytime, I'm here for you, friend. Should we? We probably should go find them. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I imagine that Nero's probably gotten annoyed with somebody by now.
I wonder if I can get Rack to spar with me. I think that would be fun.
There you go.
Let's go find him.
And we head off back towards the where we last saw the group, I guess, towards the tents.
Sure. So as you guys are making your way over in that direction, you kind of see you'd end up seeing Rack kind of walking back the other direction. He's kind of walking towards the east side of town by himself. He's making his way out that way.
Interneck would have definitely cut off and went the direction where Rack went then.
Okay, are you gonna like just try and catch up with him? Or are you gonna try and stop him, or what's kind of your deal?
Just catch up with him.
Okay, perfect. And then Uther, what are you like? You also see, you see you see Rat going the other way, and then you see Anderneck break off to go and join him.
I'll probably go. Would I see where Nero is, and like with the tents with the wounded and such?
You'd see him outside. Yeah. He's kind of talking with he's having a conversation with what looks like a makeshift nurse, if you will.
Yeah, I'll probably head over there, and I would ask if they need any help with healing any of the people.
Okay. So, okay, sounds good. And then, so that's kind of that. That's all happening. Okay, perfect. So, Rack and Anderneck, you two are now. Anderneck, you catch up with Rack, and you're the two of you are kind of headed to the east. Yeah. Is there anything in particular that you would be saying or doing, or are you just going to catch up with him?
I would say as I catch up with Rack, if Rack were to look at me, he would notice a cut and a little bit of dried blood on her left calf.
Okay.
In the shape of a bite mark, I'm sure.
Okay.
Rack's gonna look down in general and just to see the blood and just look back up at her and be like, are you okay?"
Yeah, I was sparring with Uther. He's trying to tame the wolf, so to speak. Where are you off to?
Hunting. You should have punched harder. And then he just continues like walking.
What are we hunting? And she's gonna pick up the pace to try to keep speed with him.
don't know. And then he like points in the direction of where like he was told to go, like to meet up with these. What do you say? Like they were huntsmen
Yeah.
that were hunting. Yeah. So he just points in the general direction of them, and he just says, "It's work," and then that's about it for now, anyway.
Anderneck would not try to carry on any other conversation than that then.
Okay. Okay, so you two kind of make your way over, and you see a group of people, some kind of like there's like one deer that's there. It's currently there's a human there like working on skinning it and that kind of stuff. Other than that, there's a couple others there. There's a couple people, starting to butcher little bits of meat, and that they're plucking the odd chicken and or bird, I should say. They're plucking the odd bird and butchering some meat that looks like it had been killed previously. As you approach, the kind of the collective of them look at you and look at the two of you walking up, and they're like, my goodness, look at you. Are you folks here to help?
I was told to hunt. What am I hunting?
They kind of look at you. They go, well, they say you don't appear to have a bow, but I mean, we could definitely use you to help. I mean, we could set you up with one of the huntsmen, one of maybe one of the less experienced huntsmen. If you could go and maybe help track or what have you. I mean, it looks like you're quite good for hauling things, to say the least.
Rat grunts and then kind of looks and goes, so where do I start?
Okay. And then they say, oh, well, we'll get you set up with someone right away. They then turn to Anderneck and they said, are you here to help as well?
He goes, I go.
Okay, sure. Gotcha. Okay. They said, all right. Right. Package deal then. Very good.
Yep.
Okay. So they kind of set you up with a with one of the huntsmen, and they say, well, if you would go forth and hopefully the land provides.
So this is out of character. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a survival check, I'm guessing.
Just survival or nature, and I mean Anderneck can kind of work with you a little bit or do her own or whatever.
Rack rolls a miserable 4.
Okay. Anderneck, you can kind of see that Rack here is having a bit of a is kind of struggling a little bit with trying to pick up any sort of tracks.
Okay. I am also gonna look. So
Survival or nature, either or.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. So yeah, I mean you are you kind of have a little bit of you're having a little bit of a hard time picking up, but you think you kind of get a little bit of something headed off to the northwest sort of area.
Hey, Rack, what's that over in that direction? And I'm gonna point to the northwest.
So Rack is gonna turn in that direction and start heading that way, and then try to pick up some sort of track again. You want me to go ahead and roll again for that?
Please.
That didn't work. that was horrible. And the worst part is it sat on a 20. That really just hurt my feelings.
Well, I was gonna ask, could I assist to give him advantage, but too late.
Okay, I rolled a 19. There we go. It actually worked this time. But all right.
No problem. Yeah, 19. Yeah, okay. So again, you're definitely, you feel like you're definitely on to something here as you kind of truck your way off a little bit. You're now, I mean, just for the sake of it, we're just going to we'll finish up your kind of little bit, then I'll go back to the other guys and do a bunch of stuff with them, and then blah 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 blah. So you guys continue to track for probably an hour or so off in one of the directions. You think you're kind of getting closer and closer. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and make one more. You can go ahead if you want to assist or whatever, and give advantage to someone. That's totally fine.
I'll definitely just assist Rack so to give him advantage, because Anarnek wants him to get the kill, so to speak.
So
For sure.
I just go ahead and pick advantage for myself, or
Yeah, just click on advantage and then make your roll.
okay, this time a natural 20.
Okay. Yeah. So like you continue to track for a little bit longer, and you can kind of as you guys make your way across these kind of rolling plains with sparsely populated trees and that, you can see off in the distance there's a deer. The hunter is going to take a shot at the deer. Oh, he's very talented. He is. Yeah. So the archer takes a shot at the deer, and you see this arrow make a very solid connection, and actually proceeds to. Weird. I had the same weird thing happen that you did. Anyways, the arrow makes a connection with the deer, and you can kind of you see the deer start to run off a little bit. He makes it probably no more than 10 meters before he kind of you can see the deer start to get a little wavy and that sort of stuff, and eventually drop probably about 15 meters away from where it was initially hit. The hunter, you can kind of see the hunter is at this point kind of filled with, I mean, we would call it buck fever, but like filled with just like that adrenaline rush of getting a kill kind of thing.
Rack's gonna run over and like check to make sure the wound is clean, like as in like that was a good kill. And then after he identifies it, he's gonna pick it up and throw it over his shoulders. And then I guess congratulate or just nod at the hunter and start, I guess, heading back.
Sounds good.
Hey, Rack, that was some pretty damn good tracking.
Better with you. And he nods and then keeps walking.
She just grins and continues walking. I'm assuming we're going to walk back to the camp now.
Yep. Yeah, you guys can start making your way back. As you guys make your way back, we will quickly jump over to Draxon. Draxon, you've now finished up buying your herbs. During the process of you buying your herbs and all that kind of jazz, all this sort of stuff has gone on, basically to the point of Uther heading towards the thing, and then the other two heading towards the kind of meeting up with the hunters. So so kind of at the point where they have met up with the hunters now, you are now You have gone and talked with these ladies. You've bought your herbs and that. What's the next thing that you would be looking to do?
I would like to look for either Uther or Anarnek, because the last I knew they were together. So just looking for my druid companions.
Sure, sure. Okay, so yeah, you kind of stroll around. You see, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Bought, purchased. Yes. Okay, yeah. No, the stop it. God damn it. Yeah, you actually spot Uther pretty plainly. Like you see Uther making his way towards the medical tents. You do not see Anarnek though.
Got it. I will jog lightly to catch up to him.
Sure.
Hey Uther, I have kind of a strange question.
Okay.
You and Anarnek can turn into animals.
Yeah. Yum.
Um, I don't know how that works, nor am I going to pretend like I do. But is there potential that either either one of you could turn into a snake of some kind?
I could try. It's not something I've ever turned into. Internet Internet is really good at like changing into different animals, so she might know a little bit better than I do, but like I could definitely try.
The reason I'm asking is in my line of work, before I met the rest of you, I did some rather unsavory things as my job, um, and found out, and or not found out, but learned that using applying certain things to weapons made them more effective. Um, I was wondering uh, if you could turn into a snake, if you would be okay with me gathering some venom from said snake's fangs.
Yeah, I guess that would be okay. Like I say, I'm not good at controlling the animals all the time, but it might be great practice for me if you're willing to try. And if I do bite you and poison you, once I change back, I can cast a spell to take the poison away.
That would be great. Plus, if you bite me, that would give me good practice for undoing them as well, in case someone else gets poisoned by something.
Oh well, good. That just seems like a win-win. Should we find some place where we're not surrounded by people in case I start, you know, biting things randomly?
That is an excellent idea.
So, yeah, I guess we would go, I don't know, probably the edge of the forest or something to try this.
Okay.
And I
Sure.
will try to turn into a snake. So I'm going to roll a d20 and do a luck roll to see what I can do. That's a nat 20. I can turn into a snake. But a 2, so I am not very good at controlling it, is kind of what I'm going to go with. So I'm
That's fine.
going to coil back and start to, let me take a look at what a snake can do here.
Bite.
Yeah, so I will try to bite Draxon. Feels like everything you shouldn't do as a D&D player, all in one session.
So much PvP.
That's a critical hit.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I brought this upon myself.
Yeah, so I think I do 1 damage. And then there's a DC 10 con save. I think I can make you do that.
For the poison. Yep.
Yeah, so that would be the con save, and it looks like you passed, so you don't get poisoned.
Yeah. It's very much past.
And that would be my turn as the snake, I guess.
Well, since he bit me, um, I'm going to use my poisoner's kit to try and draw the venom out of the wound.
Yeah, go ahead and make. Fuck, what would that even be?
I would say probably survival.
Yeah, I think that's probably. Yeah, that's probably best actually. Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check.
That's an 8.
You do not like you start to work at it, but you do not successfully manage to get any poison out of the wound.
Well, that is unfortunate. I will look to Snake Uther and see what he's doing now.
So I rolled another d20 to see if I could control myself, and I got a 20. So I can control myself just fine, so I'm just gonna coil up at his feet and not attack.
Okay.
And I'll let Draxon do what he was gonna try and do.
Okay.
Yeah, I will take one of my flasks of oil out of my backpack, unstopper it, and just pour the oil out on the ground. Hopefully that doesn't cause anything bad later. But now that I have an empty flask, I will gently hold it to Snake Uther's mouth and or teeth, fangs, and try and extract some venom without hurting him.
Yeah. I mean, go go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage because he's kind of letting you do it.
That's a 16.
Okay. So at this point, yes, we'll say that you can get what you're looking for.
I will will then restopper the flask and gently put it in my backpack.
Okay, fair enough.
And then I'm going to pick up Snake Uther.
Okay. Okay. So Snake Uther, you've been picked up.
I will kind of like just coil around him a little bit, not in a like threatening way, but just to you know, show that I am still in control,
Like a scarf.
much like a snarf, I guess, a snake scarf.
No, I can't. Okay. Okay.
Well, it seems like you, after biting me the first time, seems like you have gotten the snake under control pretty good. And then I will head into camp with Uther as a snarf.
Okay. This has been the wildest shit. I tell you what.
This is the quality content I signed up for, sir.
Seriously. Okay. So yeah, okay, sorry. So where are you headed now that you have your brand new fancy snarf?
Gonna go look for Nero and Ananek and Rack.
Okay. So Jesus. Okay. So yeah, so you kind of you guys were fairly close to the medical tent. So you run into Nero pretty easily. He's kind of outside of the he's outside of the medical tent, kind of like having this conversation with one of the nurses, or one of like the younger nurses. Um, you kind of approach him as he's like, well, it sounds like you didn't want me here for a while. You know, you kind of catch him at the end of that little speech. So you can see that they're like they're kind of in a position where they need help at the medical tents. So they need people to kind of help, like lift and move the wounded. They need people to try and offer any sort of they need people to try and help with any sort of medical, like even the most even the smallest amount of medical assistance would be better than nothing, kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, hey everyone. What the hell have you guys been up to?
Well, Rack and I found some fresh venison.
Hold on. You guys aren't back yet. This is
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
My
no, you're
mistake.
good. You're good. Like this is kind of in the process of happening while you guys are this is in the process of happening while you guys are out doing your tracking and that.
I do like the idea that like Nero was still arguing with these people despite all the Thorn and like Uther stuff was happening. Like
Yeah,
it went on an extra 15 minutes.
I could just kind of see Uther like really grinding this guy up over it. You know what I mean? Like it just in my mind, he's just kind of like he's just really not in like a malicious way. But like, you know, I can just see him like really just sticking it to him.
You mean Nero?
Or sorry, Nero. Yes, Jesus, I'm the worst with names.
Uther's the snake right now.
Yes. How can I possibly forget Snoother?
Is Uther out of snake form or is he still trucking around?
I am wrapped around Draxon's neck at this point. A like red and yellowish poisonous looking snake.
That looks mighty dangerous there. I don't know if I'd be wrapping one of those around my neck, but I mean, you do you.
I mean, it's all fine. I mean, in fact, I think you might know him.
Once we get close, like right up to the medical tent, so probably as this conversation is happening, I would probably slither off from Draxon's neck and change back into my human form.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
hey guys. Well, that seemed to work. Sorry about biting you the one time.
It's all fine. There's no risk, no reward.
what the hell? Look, I'm not gonna ask. They need some help over here, and I'm not super magical. Well, I mean, I am, but not in the healing sense. More of uh, the opposite, really. So maybe you guys can give us a hand here.
You want me to help? As I pull out one of my daggers.
Maybe you can like wash bandages or something.
That makes more sense.
I'm gonna just walk over to the nurses and see where I can help and offer, magical healing and lesser restoration abilities.
Okay. So are you trained in medicine by chance?
I am not.
Okay.
I just have healing words.
Okay, no, that's fine. That'll work. Okay, so yeah, you we'll kind of have you doing that. Draxon, what are you going to be doing? Hmm. I guess Jackson, what are you going to be doing to kind of help this situation?
Oh,
Or not help it. I mean, what would like I guess the question is what are you going to be doing now that you're kind of all standing here and they're like, "Wow, this is great. We could really use your help."
I don't actually know how much help I would be. Usually, I'm the reason people end up in these kind of places. I don't know. I really know how to do the opposite of that.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
don't. I don't think you really want me here. I mean, I could maybe point out what kind of damage they have.
Maybe you could do some like reconnaissance or something. I don't know. Maybe keep an eye out for the more those shitty little kobolds. Or yeah, you can triage or something.
Okay. So yeah, so we kind of so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have like old man Nero kind of giving giving kind of direction and some insight on kind of what's going on. Um yeah, like kind of pointing out probably doing like a little bit of like investigations like, oh, this is definitely done by some sort of a like this is some sort of a magical like this was caused by some sort of magic as opposed to being caused by like a blade or something like that. And like Uther is going to be Uther will be using healing words and his other kind of healing abilities just to try and assist with the injured there. And I mean, Draxon, honestly, I don't know what the hell Draxon's going to be doing.
He's just gonna stand there and look intimidating.
Yeah, I think he'd could possibly help with like triaging or moving people or something like that. So, okay, we'll work with that. Okay, so then as you guys are working at that, sorry, Anderneck and Rack, you guys are making your way back with the freshly killed deer.
As they're walking, Rack kind of just stops and pauses, and then kind of bends down to Anderneck's level so he can get as close to face with her as he can, and goes and speaks in Minotaur, and just basically says, "How do you know Minotaur?" And then just kind of goes silent to listen.
Oh, well, I'm from a really, really, really large city, and there's a lot of different people that live there from all walks of life, and uh, yeah, that's where I know a Minotaur from. And she visually looks awkward and uncomfortable talking about it.
Okay.
Rack just looks back at her and squints, and he goes, "I haven't spoke Minotaur since I was 12." And then kind of it notices that she's looking awkward, and he just kind of stands back up, and then begins following the huntsman again, and really doesn't question too much about it. But he does pass a glance every now and again as walking.
She'll respond in Minotaur and say, "Well, anytime you want to have a conversation, I'm here." Feeling more relaxed now that the questions of where she's from has been passed over.
Rack just again passing eyes, but just keeps walking until they get back into the camp or wherever they're going. Really doesn't think too hard on it.
Same, quiet walking. We make it back.
Okay, no problem. So as you guys make your way back to the to the camp again, you see a bunch of you see that people are like super super excited. They're the appearance of another deer is just incredible as far as they're concerned. They're like, holy shit, like we're like, holy shit, like we're getting to a point where we're potentially gonna eat rather well here finally. Okay, so yeah, so you it's now been a while. It's been some time. Like I said, it took you a while to go and get the deer and get it back. And during this time, we had the other three kind of working on their bit. And so as you guys all meet up, I mean, it's now sort of in the early afternoon. And so I mean, you guys are obviously encouraged to continue to do what you're doing for longer. If you guys intend to continue to do it, that's fine. We can just totally fast forward this. But basically, the end of the day, for the remainder of the day, nothing overly special kind of happens. Like, you guys continue to help out around the camp. The people are extremely happy that you're there. And the evening approaches. What is there anything in particular you guys are looking to do in the evening?
Annerneck would have definitely made sure to bring some fresh cooked venison to Old Man Narrow.
Oh, thank you. This is very nice. Much better than the salted pork from earlier.
I prefer you in a better mood than a grumpy one.
Oh, I'm not that bad, am I? Hey, okay. Gotcha. Well, thank you very much. It's been a long day, and it's been a tough adventure, and it's just gotta keep the old energy up.
Hey, this one's the one that found it, and she's pointing to Rack.
Or did he throw a boulder at the damn thing, or what?
He tracked it.
Oh, good for him. That's a good skill to have.
If
Something
I
I never.
killed it, there'd be nothing left.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, what? Yeah, if you had hit it with the old hand axe, it probably wouldn't have been much left.
Rax kind of like got like whatever alcohol that he can get a hold of, and he's just kind of sitting in a corner, still back to sharpening his axe and kind of just minding his business. Unless talked to, of course. But yeah.
Okay.
Between mouthfuls of this deer, I guess I'll just be reading. Nero will be reading his creepy book.
Ah, yes, the creepy book. Very good. Okay.
Annerneck would definitely be partaking in alcoholic consumption.
Okay.
I would walk up to Annerneck at some point and relay to her that I had turned into a snake and controlled it somewhat well after trying to bite Draxon and poison him once.
Oh, a snake, yeah? A little one? A big one?
Yeah, it was not super big, but definitely poisonous, and it didn't hurt him too bad, so I guess that was pretty good.
Oh, well done. Cheers. And she's going to offer him some alcohol.
Uther will take the alcohol.
You just got to keep at it and just remember you're in control. You're the master.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it really seemed to help.
I'm going to find a secluded area after getting some food and mess around with my poisoner's kit and the venom I got from Snoother and the herbs I have.
Okay. So you're going to be working on some concoctions over there using your kit.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are, yeah, so Drax is kind of off on his own. Nero is deep in his Nero's kind of deep in his book. It sounds like Annerneck's getting wasted.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Uther.
I'm probably 2 beers deep at this point, which means that I'm not good for much of anything.
It's fair. And yeah.
And Rack has just, I mean, he is drinking a little bit of, again, whatever alcohol they got, but he's I guess he's moved on to his hand axes and just, just sharpening him to the best of his behavior and, or the best that he can. And then making sure his Morning Star's still got points on it and, and they're still kind of spiky and just keeping his head down and to his weapons.
Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, so you guys proceed throughout the evening. You just kind of sit around and, like you said, kind of do what you guys were talking about doing. Um, the night falls and you guys get yet another long rest. So any sort of damages have now all been cleared up. Boop. There it is. All right, and the morning comes. Once again, the morning comes. You guys wake up fairly bright and early, probably around, like so you guys would probably be rising somewhere around 8 a.m. or something like that.
Anarnek would definitely be waking up groggy and hungover.
Okay. Yeah, again, like as you guys wake up, you the sun is starting to rise, and you guys are you guys find yourself again in this camp.
Right, so we got a monk to talk to. Is that what we're doing today? I'm so confused. Fuck, it's bright out here.
Yes, good morning, everyone. It's time for another beautiful day. We're gonna go talk to the monk. It's gonna be great.
Do we all have to be present when we talk to him?
I mean, probably not, but he creeps me out. Don't really want to be there alone.
And then Rack stands up and just slowly starts to head in that direction.
I'll definitely go with you. I think we kind of understood each other last time. I mean, we actually listened and got those people out. I was a little amazed after climbing the wall. I kind of thought maybe we'd never see him again, but I was pretty exhausted at that point too.
Well, since I didn't meet him last time, I think I'll hold off and y'all can have fun talking to him.
Sure. We will
Okay.
go. I guess I don't know what Anna's doing.
I just don't make me doing the talking.
Why
She's
don't-
kind of holding her head.
Why don't you take a little bit more of a rest?
Quick question. How tall is Andernak?
5'2".
5'2".
Yeah, she little.
Rack just pipes her over his shoulders and just kind of just starts walking in that direction. Like he goes back and gets her and then just throws her over his shoulder and just keeps walking.
So kind of like sitting up on his shoulder. I like it.
Yeah, so she doesn't have to walk.
First, I thought
Although
you
she's got to
meant
watch out for entrance of tents. Just saying, his horns always get caught.
Just make sure she doesn't barf on you.
I thought you were gonna do fireman style, and then that would just probably be bad.
I can hold my contents, guys. I can hear all of you, okay? I'm fine. Thanks, Rack. Thanks. And she's gonna kind of pat him on the head while holding on to one of his horns.
Okay.
And then Rack's gonna continue making his way.
Okay. So so you guys are headed over to go see the monk.
Yes.
Cool. So as you walk in, you see kind of like still laying on the table, still looking eyes open, looking attentive, but still very out of it. You see Leosin kind of laying there. He says, thank you again for helping me. Thank you again for helping me escape that wretched place.
Well, you did all the hard work in getting all those people out, so I mean, it's you did your part.
Okay. It says, well, it says, yes, I definitely, he's like, I definitely still appreciate what you've done for me. Like for me personally, and then, I mean, also for the people of Greenest. You really, like, I mean, if you folks had not shown up, I don't know that there would be even what is left of Greenest still there. Um, he says, at this particular point, I mean, I hate to even ask anything more of you, but the need right now is so great, and I mean, I kind of dare to hope that you can aid me just one more time.
Anything that hurts tiny people is wrong. What do you want?
He kind of looks at you, and he kind of adjusts himself a little bit and lets out a kind of a pained groan as he adjusts. He goes, I need you to return to the cultist camp. You folks know your way around it now. If the cultists are preparing to conduct another raid, or even if like maybe a large body of them marches away, or if anything substantial is carried in or out of the cave at the back of that place, I need to know. If you have a chance to get into the camp and look around again, that would be the ideal way to spot if anything has changed.
But is there anything specific you're looking for, or you have a hunch or something?
He says I don't. He says I don't know if you spotted it or not, but at the back of the at the back of the encampment there, near where the leader's tent is, there's an entrance to a cave. He says he says I didn't get a chance to he says I didn't get a chance to get too far into that cave, but I hear that they're using that cave as something of like a hatchery.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound very good. No, we didn't notice the cave. At least I didn't. We were focusing on trying to find you. So you think that might be where all these dragons and half dragons and partial dragons are coming from?
This is honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, they didn't. They've they didn't. They don't let people. They don't let anyone get too close, other than obviously the elite few, and maybe a handful of kobolds that they use as more or less as slaves, really. He's like, he says I need more information. As soon as I get healthier, my plan is to travel north to Eltruel, which is the city where I kind of started this whole campaign. I need to talk with a paladin up there. His name is Onthar Froom, and he's the one who I've been planning with. He's one of the few people who I feel has a good understanding of the recent surge of activity from these people. Jesus Christ. Sorry. I have to turn off Discord.
Don't pay
while I do
attention
this.
to our chat, sir.
No, I know. It just kills me. That last one gets me good, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Yeah. He says these I think that Onthar has Onthar has been concerned about the recent events of this cult, and a bunch of people, a bunch of people just kind of snubbed their noses at us. Like they didn't think that that our concerns were legitimate. But I need, I'm going to head up there to Eltruel, and I'm gonna go talk to Onthar and try and share this information. There we go. Oh God. Ignore that capital L.
At this point, Internet's gonna give Rack a gentle tap to signal him to let her down because she's finally catching her balance.
Rack's gonna go ahead and drop down to his knees and let her off.
Thanks, friend. How far is it to Trio? Is that was the name of your city? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
it's-
I'm a little groggy.
No, that's okay. It's a few. I mean, it's a few days travel for sure. Let me pull up the map.
The Bears.
Bears. There it is. Well, this is a atrocious map. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh, there we are. So, I'm gonna quickly share this map with you guys. Share. So, if you're gonna have to go way down south, and I'll just put a little box around Greenest.
That's what she said.
That's it. And she loved it. So Greenest is there, and then I'll put a little circle along right there. There you go. So there's the two spots.
So what's the units of this this map here?
That's it is Bald Eagles by NASCAR races.
I'm guessing like 200 miles.
It's pretty far, huh?
Yeah, it's a ways. Let me figure out.
All them freedom units.
That's it. Yeah, it's definitely it's a ways of a travel, because you'd probably head over to the east to get onto the road, and then up to Burdusk, and then up to the fork near where Scornable is, and then over to Eltruel.
So almost a full week travel to get
It's about that. It's some kind of a distance. He says that's where I'm going. He says that's where I'll be headed, but I mean, we can't. There's really little time to waste. He says we need to. He says we need to know. It's like we need to get information about, if they're going to conduct another raid or what's happening.
Do you have anything that can help us get in there? Because I don't know if maybe you didn't notice, but there's a shitload of guys in there, and I don't particularly want to have to fight through every single one of them.
He says, I honestly, what I did when I was getting in there is is I found like a small group of them that were patrolling outside and outside the camp, I should say. I dispatched them and took one of their cloaks. As long as you're wearing cloaks, I mean the especially the kobolds, they're not too damn bright about anything.
Yeah, but what about him? And she's pointing to Rack.
It's like that one. That's a little more difficult. He says, I'm not quite sure what to make of him. I mean, unless you have some sort of like he kind of like looks over at he kind of looks over at old man Nero. He's like, you seem one wise of the arcane ways. He says, I don't know if you know, a way to possibly disguise him or make him look like something else. This is I only know the spell fist, so I don't really I'm not well versed in the others.
No, I don't. We didn't have anything to disguise him with the first time around, so I'm a little not sure if we're going to be able to. We're definitely not going to pull off the whole uh, with the beast being carried to the prison thing again. I mean,
this
we kind of that's kind of how we got to you in the first place. So
at this point, like Rax just like giving like dirty looks all around, like not to everybody, obviously, but just to those who are talking.
Right.
I feel like he wouldn't go for it again anyway. Like I'm just we need some way because I think there might be wise like they can't be that stupid, can they? Can they?
Well, it's also not just Rack. We have a red-skinned tiefling buddy with us too.
So I see. So about the I said the tiefling is the I'm assuming the tiefling is a normal humanoid size.
Uh, sure.
Says okay, well if he's if he's around the same size as a human, I mean again as long as he's wearing those like one of those purple robes, I think he would be set in that regard. So I think your biggest problem
Rack's
go-
size.
is going to be yes is going to be Rack's size.
It's okay, buddy. I think you look fantastic that size.
Rack hasn't really said much. He's just kind of just really squinting really, really, really hard now.
All right, well, maybe we'll take this under advisement and we'll go ahead and maybe we'll try to come up with a plan. Maybe our other buddy has an idea. If you don't have anything else to share, I don't think we need to keep you from your rest any longer.
He says, "Well, it's this." He kind of gives you like a really wry smile. He says, I can tell you this. I don't overly recommend letting yourselves get captured." He lets out like a small wheeze.
Oh, you mean like you did?
Just he his grin kind of fades a little bit. He's like, quiet.
You said it, buddy.
I mean, I could have told you that before it happened. I've lived a long time, and I'll tell you that I've seen some shit, and you were in a bad way, my friend. Yeah. So don't worry. Don't worry. We won't. We'll die. We'll die trying if we have to, but we're not gonna end up getting no torture for old Nero.
Fair, fair.
Let's get out of here.
Rack doesn't really want to be there anymore, and he just kind of gets just a little aggravated and just leaves. Kind of a little mad.
Okay.
So, do we have a way we can get in contact with you after we go check out this stuff for you?
He says, yes, absolutely. He says, once you kind of have some more reconnaissance in that, just, meet me up in El Truel. And if for whatever reason I've moved on from there, the information can go to Onthar. He is just as much a part of this as I am.
All right, then. And she's gonna just immediately turn around and leave.
Okay.
Cool. Yep. Well, have a good rest, my friend. Hope you recover from your ordeal. We'll see you in El Truel. El Turel? Whatever. Bye.
Sounds good. Okay, so yeah, there you guys are.
I'm gonna assume we all gather outside.
Well, he wasn't much help, was he?
I don't really like him much. I put him almost on the same level as that governor.
This whole town, while they're weak, are also stupid.
I have to agree with you, Rack.
Except the dwarf, he doesn't seem too weak, but yeah, can't disagree.
Oh, good point, Nero.
He also used to live under a rock.
Rock, mountain, I mean, two significantly different things, Rack.
Rack just doesn't say much and just turns around, crosses his arms.
Either way, whether this guy's an idiot or not, if there's a bunch of dragons being birthed inside of a dark cave, that's probably not great. We should probably follow up on that regardless.
Am I back with the group yet? Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, we've come outside, so.
Okay, cool. So, did he have anything useful to say?
He wants us to go check out this thing with maybe possibly like a birthing chamber for dragons, and then whatever information we get, he wants us to go to El Dorado to talk to OnStar Broom Broom. I don't know anymore.
Maybe we can pretend to be like dragon doulas or something. Maybe we can convince them that we're very, very good at raising dragons.
I don't know much about the group, about that group in their large camp, but I do know that dragons usually hoard things. So if they're birthing dragons, they might have some decent items stashed away for them.
Do you? And a rat kind of turns around. Do either one of you druids turn into dragons?
Dragons not really considered animal. They are their own thing, so no, druids cannot turn into dragons.
Yeah, that's a little advanced.
For sure. Lizards, maybe?
I mean, Uther turned into a snake. Isn't that just a small wingless dragon?
I like that. Could we maybe have some sort of offering to the dragon if they like to hoard shiny or, expensive things? Could we find something they might like and get in that way?
That's a good point.
I could minor illusion something if you could think of something that was enticing enough. That might help.
Or if we don't want to confront them head on and interact with them, um, we could go around the south of the camp, the way you all climbed out, and climb in directly above the cave.
I personally would like to avoid the camp, like go around the camp to get to the cave, because that was just like chaotic in there.
So this is out of character. For minor illusion, like is it just like sound and like obviously images, or is it touchable items as well?
It can't be touchable. It's just if someone tries to touch it, they pass right through it.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you.
Well, maybe we could just try to sneak in. I mean, I'm not very sneaky, but this shit's worth trying. Gotta be better than fighting a whole camp of kobolds.
I can help us sneak in if that's what we decide to do. It's a spell that I've been studying for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one that
Can it help minotaurs?
it can help all of us eventually to pass without a trace and be a bit more stealthy.
Oh, I think that would be very beneficial for our group.
Then let's go.
Okay.
If you cast that spell before you turn into an animal, does it go away?
It's not concentration. I'm pretty sure.
It is concentrated.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so I think for me, well, I can hold
Well, I mean, you're gonna
concentration
be.
as an animal, but I
thought you
can't
had to
cast
wear
it
a
as an
robe,
animal.
though. Oh, I see. So if you casted it before you shifted, it would still work.
Yes, yep. It would work up to an hour. And you can hold concentration, but you can't cast a. I can't cast a spell as an animal.
How close to you do we need to stay?
Within 30 feet.
And you said it lasts for an hour?
Yes. And I can do it like 3 times if we would need it.
Hopefully only 2 times. One time to get in and then one time to get out.
Is there anything else we should pre-plan before going in there?
If it would make it easier to get in undetected, um, because I know that the two of you can into things. Y'all could turn into something small and attach to me, and I could fly us down.
But that would only move 3 of us. What about these 2?
They, we could hold a rope at the top, and they can climb down, and then after they're down, then we could do that.
I say the two that can turn into animals, we infiltrate from the south of the cave or from the top of the cave. The two that can turn into animals slide down rope, transform into animals that aren't normally noticed, or use the invisibility and sneak into the cave and see if they can't extract information. And then get out of there, get back up the rope, and we get out of there.
Honestly, I think I am more stealthy in this form than when in animal form. So,
How many people notice snakes, frogs, and tiny things?
out of character, usually animal dexterity stealth is not that great. So, that's why I'm reiterating that.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's just a quick thought. Sorry. You're good.
True. I mean, I tried stealthing before in cat form a couple days ago, remember? And it did okay for a while. I mean, I could try it, but
Just passing thoughts.
well, let's get closer to our destination, I suppose, and then we'll attack it the best way we can.
Rack nods to the group and then begins to turn and head towards the direction that that they got away from before, towards that valley.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Okay, so as you guys start making your way off back towards the camp, I think.
Well, we're trying to outskirt the camp.
Yeah. You're trying to like. I mean, you still have to head in that direction.
I'm sorry.
Hey, no, you're good. No, you're good. Yeah. So like, as you guys start making your way towards the camp, I should say, this is as good a time as any, and this actually makes a whole lot of sense that we will end this session here. Come next time, we'll pick it up as you guys. We'll pick it up with you guys approaching the camp and going from there.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yay.
Thanks for DMing, Win.
Yeah, I love it.
Dang.
This is this one's getting spicier and spicier as we go. I like it.
I love that our characters actually talk to each other a little bit this session.
Well, it's been an interesting bit, right? Like you guys have shown up, you've kind of gotten thrown right into a siege, you didn't really know each other. Now
Yep.
then it's like yeah, then it's like all that kind of stuff. But you know, then you guys have to go and like explore this camp and try and get that sorted out. And then I mean, you know, it's just been one thing after another. You guys really haven't had a bit of downtime to get to know each other that well.
All right, and we're gonna look to end the stream. Does anybody? I mean, obviously, if you haven't followed, please do. I think we're at 47 followers now, so we're like 3 away from
Hype.
affiliate.
Yeah, big hype.
Eligible at least. The playlist for the YouTube, like the older sessions, should be updated up to the last session, and I will try to get this one up today or tomorrow.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you, Darren, for taking care of all the tech stuff.
Yeah, so, and then looks like we have a raid candidate, so we will send people over. Did you guys have anything, exclamation players, exclamation portraits? I just put them up in the chat, but if you want to see it again, and exclamation socials will give you the basic info on all of the different different ways to contact us, who we are, and who made our wonderful artwork.
There it is, guys. Yeah, once again, like I said, we are three followers away from being able to be affiliate, to get that checked off on the affiliate thing. If you guys get an opportunity, like I said, please make sure you guys hit that follow. Let's help promote D&D tabletop roleplay on Twitch. It doesn't cost you a cent. It is completely free to follow, guys.
And it's awesome entertainment.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. With that being said, we will be back next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right back here on this channel for more Adventures Tabletop, as I do everything I can to try and kill the party. I mean, save the world. I mean, I don't know, something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, thanks again, everybody. We're going to go ahead and raid Naughty, and I need to make a raid command for next week. But just say raid from Adventurers Tabletop or something cooler than what that would be.